Hi, I'm Panda Hershey, and over the last 7 years, I've helped hundreds of people use their astrological compass to navigate relationships and challenging situations so they can actually enjoy life. Welcome to the May 8th Coffee and Charts call, where we talk about being in a transition phase. All the work you've done for the first 4 months of this year caps off a full year of restructuring your presence, and now you are ready to show it to the world. You are a new person. The Mercury portal also wraps up on May 13th, and it is the new you that gets to put your heart into taking this message or idea out into the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, everyone. Well, welcome to the May 8th Coffee and Charts. And I am back from Europe, and my younger daughter is now a married woman, and it's kind of wild. And what was so interesting is she was married on May 1st, and of course, Pluto stationed retrograde on May 2nd. And I've been thinking a lot about this and how kind of my integration for 5 months is getting used to the idea of having a daughter who is married and um, who has a partner that I believe will support her, and she'll be in this whole learning phase and they'll be able to figure out anything, I think, together. And that is just so comforting to me that, wow, I get to step back and let her do that. And then I anticipate she'll move back this summer, right before the Jupiter portal starts, which will be her growth and awareness of, it'll be groups for her. And she'll come back in October, but then leave again just as Pluto goes forward. And I just love how there's this cosmic timing always in our lives that just allows things to sync up and we can be in the flow. And I hope you're feeling that now as well. That for me, at least, there was so much work that came into getting ready for this event. And somewhere in your life, there were 4 months of intense work of getting ready, like getting to a certain place where you knew you would be able to ease up. And hopefully that transition has occurred for you that, okay, we've gotten to a place where, okay, I know the main stuff is done. And now it's like making it all work. And that is really where we're at right now. And we are in this transition phase of now integrating. And part of this transition phase is also about recognizing how much we have changed since last May. And I really think the first half of this first 4 months of this year were part of that whole restructuring of who we are. It kind of capped off a year of real work that showed you what you could do. And now um, we get to have a few months of like adjusting to having these new wings and seeing what we can do um, with that huge idea we've had from the Mercury portal, because that bleeds over into this new year, this new restructuring year, and it's some beautiful work ahead of us. So that's kind of where we are. The Mercury portal is still wrapping up. Pluto has gone retrograde, and we're in this transition phase. And I hope that you are all feeling that. So here we are today, May 8th. And as I've mentioned, Pluto is now moving backwards until October 11th. And Mercury is still here in the green at about 22 degrees. And it's got another 5 days until Monday to finish up its journey. And hopefully by now you have so much clarity on what it is that you need to bring to people's attention, or that something has been brought to your attention and you've kind of figured out what to do about it. And here we begin this transition phase. The sun is entering last year's Uranus portal. at 19 degrees of Taurus. And so it's for the next 4 or 5 days, it will journey through this space of Taurus that you changed and you restructured. And so the actions that you're going to be taking will demonstrate that you are a different person. And anyone who has not really been paying attention to what you've been up to is going to be like, whoa, what has happened here? And oh my gosh, like something has really changed in you. And I didn't realize it. And so that's kind of where we are. On the 9th, Mercury leaves this year's Chiron portal. So if over the last 2 months, nearly 2 months since the Mercury portal opened, you have had some surprises in the way things have unfolded with either what it is you need to tell people about, how you're presenting it, or even who the right audience is. Hopefully, you've ended up in a place where you can kind of look back and say, wow, I could never have guessed that this is how it would unfold. And it allows you to trust because the whole year we'll have this energy of thinking we know how it should turn out, or this should work, or that'll never work. And then we get surprised. And so, as Mercury leaves this portal, I hope that this time will be a reminder that we don't have to know and we can allow things to unfold. On the 11th, Venus leaves last year's Jupiter portal. And remember, last year's Jupiter portal was about growing your skills. You've already had the sun march through those 10 degrees, and you got to kind of see for yourself, wow, I have grown. And this is that wrapping up the appreciation or the acknowledgement or your enjoyment of using those skills and just giving yourself a pat on the back. If no one else does it, I'm here to do it. That you've made great progress and you have done the work. And now this is the payoff. So I hope those compliments are coming in. Just receive them gracefully and say, yep, on to the next thing. On the 12th, next Sunday, the Uranus portal completes. The restructuring that went on for exactly 1 year, because this portal opened May 12th of last year. So for exactly 1 year, you've changed how you show up. And a lot of this was due to the growth that you had. It was like it pushed you through these barriers that were holding you back. And the work is officially done on May 12th. And there are some ripple effects as, some of the other planets move through and you get to see it and manifest it. But really, the work is done. And then you'll get a few days break before the next cycle begins. On next Monday, as I've mentioned, the Mercury portal completes at 27 degrees Aries. And I always love to think about, wow, these 2 months since March 20th, when the portal opened, you had no idea what kind of thing was going to come up for you that you needed to share with people. And you got these 2 months to really work on it, explore it, get some acknowledgement of how you're on your path. And this portal is now done, and you've got crystal clarity by this time. But there will be this nice ripple effect that we will talk about that opens in the 2 weeks before we meet again. And I love how this opportunity is coming because it doesn't always happen this way. But notice what you've realized you need to share with people and how you're going to do it. On the same day, and this is perfect, the sun finishes moving through last year's Uranus portal. So it's like you demonstrate the restructuring that you have done. It crosses over Uranus. So now it's like, I'm going to embody this right now, today, new beginning, and it enters the 2024 Uranus portal. So perfect. The Mercury portal is done, and a new you emerges to tackle the next stage of your idea. And then on the 14th, Venus, slowly catching up to the sun, enters that Uranus portal. And that will be your enjoyment of who the new you is, and maybe some other people appreciating how you've changed, how you've restructured, some acknowledgement externally that you are a different person. And then a week from today, that new portal opens. So we get a few days break, but then bam, new year of growth and restructuring, new year of restructuring. Then Venus leaves the Uranus portal, and then the sun leaves this year's Uranus portal. So during this time, it's almost like, okay, I'm ready to do the work that lies ahead for me of changing who I am at an even deeper level. And then Venus enters the Uranus portal for this year and crosses over Uranus. It's like this mission, should you choose to accept it, is yours, and it will be that almost. I'm going to think of it as encouragement that yes, you can do this, because that same day, the sun crosses over Jupiter, and I like to think of it as that may be a day where some door opens that allows you to see how you might change. It's almost setting the stage for 2025, 2026 of how you will continue to change, because a door will open for you to um, possibly walk through and say, okay, this is the way I'm going to keep growing. And then Mercury enters last year's Jupiter portal at 5.5 degrees of Taurus. So it will be catching up. But this is that time to reflect on, wow, what tools do I have? What am I doing with them? Where are they going to take me? How am I going to use them for this idea? And then Mars enters last year's Chiron portal. It is kind of way behind. And then the 21st, so almost 2 weeks from now, Mars enters the Mercury portal that will finish up on the 13th. And this is our opportunity to put our hearts into this idea. This is that wonderful ripple effect that you get to do it after you know exactly what it is you're trying to do, how you're going to do it, who needs to hear it. And now the new you, the restructured you, is here to carry out this work. And that same day, Venus leaves this year's Uranus portal, almost acknowledging, yep, this is where I'm going to be by the end of a year. And we meet again on the 22nd. Okay. For 2 weeks, I feel like that's a lot going on. But let's take a quick look at this without my talking so you can. Okay, here we go. I'm going to move the arrow out of the way. Oop, there we go. Hope you caught that. All right. Any questions so far? Are we good? Is it making sense? Are you feeling it that this new you is like on the cusp here, about to like break out? Excellent. So, the effort that you have made to level up your life over these last 4 months from like January 9th until May 2nd basically completes the restructuring that you have been doing for a whole year. The of your presence, of your tools, and you are a new person. You feel it, and if the people around you don't feel it, they will over the next couple weeks. And what I love is that it's the new you that is so ready and so like eager to put your heart into sharing this message. Those 2 months where you spent thinking about whatever it is that you need to share with people, you've like emerged as this new person ready to put your heart into it. And that's going to be an exciting few weeks until early June. And that will launch actually um, your growth. So, somewhere in putting your heart into this idea are the seeds of your growth that begin in July. So, pretty exciting. So, just a recap of some of the things that are going on right now as they're unfolding is that Venus is still marching through last year's Jupiter portal. So, how are you enjoying using your new skills? Because you are not a beginner anymore. You're pretty darn good at it. And hopefully, other people are seeing that and giving you that validation. Starting today until the 13th, the sun is moving through last year's Uranus portal down here. And this is hopefully your mindful actions are demonstrating that you are a new person. And there are opportunities to demonstrate this. On the 12th, kind of in the midst of that, last year's Uranus portal completes 1 year's worth of effort in restructuring who you are and how you show up. It's a lot of hard work. And then the next day, the Mercury portal completes. 8 weeks, almost exactly 2 months of figuring out what it is that you need to share with people, the precise message, how you're going to do it, and who needs to hear it. I love Mercury retrogrades. I hope you guys all see why. And then the same day, the sun moving through this year's Uranus portal. So just got moved just a tiny bit, and it will be demonstrating the work ahead for you, what it is that you're going to have to shift in yourself. It's like a little preview. And it is exact just before the portal opens, before the sun moves into that portal. So it's like prepping you. Then from the 14th to the 17th, Venus is moving through last year's portal. So the sun went through from the 8th to the 13th, and then the next day, I love this. You get the whole acknowledge it or, whoa, that was fun kind of feeling about, I like this new person. I like who I am now and how I show up. Then on the 15th, this year's Uranus portal opens at 23 degrees, and it goes from 23 to 27 this year. And so there is this deeper and more meaningful restructuring of your skills, your presence that begins this year. Thankfully, we get to do it at little chunks at a time. And then on the 18th, the sun crosses over Jupiter here at 28 degrees of Taurus. So it's a day to look at what you're doing that feels hopeful, that feels like an opportunity to grow your skills, that maybe feels like a vision of where you're headed to. Like if you started going in that direction, how would you need to change to be able to do that really skillfully. So it's like a hint of what will happen for you in 2025 and 2026 when the Uranus portal will cover that degree. Then from the 18th to the 21st, Venus will enter this year's Uranus portal. So it's like accepting your mission for the year of restructuring. And then Mercury will be moving through last year's Jupiter portal, almost this reflection of what are all the new skills I have? Where is it taking me? How am I going to use them? And I think there's one more here. Finally, on the 21st, so almost 2 weeks from today, Mars starts moving through that Mercury portal over here. So putting your heart into that message and with complete awareness of the skills that you have and the new you that is tackling this and absolutely ready to do it. I feel like it's so exciting. Like, I love this whole transition phase. Doesn't happen overnight. I hope you get to see how things unfold slowly so that we can actually deal with them in 3D life. So, tips for thriving. We are in a transition phase for the next few weeks because a new you is emerging, or it's already here, but it's like emerging from that chrysalis, and everyone will get to see it. And you have worked for an entire year to do this. So embody it. It's not going away. You don't have to doubt it. Just don't hold back and be that new you. And as you take the next 5 months to integrate all of the work that you did from January through April, this is part of your new restructuring. So just recognizing that you haven't gotten used to all the changes that you've made. Let them become part of you. That is part of the changes that you'll see over the next year. And the wonderful thing that I think is so fun is that the Mercury portal is completing in 5 days. And that is giving you total clarity. I know you feel like you've got it, but you still have more to learn for just the next few days on what it is that you are bringing to people's attention, how you're going to put it out there, and who needs to hear it. And on the 21st, you'll have this opportunity to really put your heart into it until June 5th. So I think that is it. Oh, once again, we would normally be meeting on the 15th, but we'll be meeting on the 22nd. You'll use this same Zoom link to join next time, and then we'll kind of be back onto the regular schedule. So thank you. Any questions? Excellent. I hope that it feels like liberating, right? I don't know how a butterfly feels when it finally emerges from that chrysalis, but like being able to spread your wings and just like take off. It takes a little time, but it's pretty darn exciting. And I feel like this is that time. We've broken through the barriers. If you can feel that, that was back on April 20th, and it takes a little time that was maybe the first chip in the shell to break free and this slow unfolding of a new us emerging. All right. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I hope this inspires you to just say, yep, I'm a new person. I'm ready to tackle it, and I'm all in. And I can't wait to hear and see what you guys all do with it. Okay. Take care. I'm going to stop recording. I hope you feel prepared to move easily through the next 2 weeks. Can you feel that you have broken through some barriers that used to hold you back, and that a new you is ready to do things that the old you simply wasn't ready for? So I hope you go for it. And don't forget, we'll meet again on Wednesday, May 22nd, the 4th Wednesday of this month. And then in June, we'll be back on the regular schedule. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.